welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I actually really wanted to use this palette. I feel like I used this palette when it first came out and I kind of forgot about it. So I really wanted to use this, and I still wanted to do something you could wear for the holidays. So this is the look I came up with. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, as usual, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I'm actually trying out this new product. This is from Good Molecules, and this is silicone-free priming moisturizer. And to be honest with you guys, I've tried a few products from this brand, and honestly, everything I've tried so far, I really like it, and I like their quality. I like the price point that they're at. So if you're looking for something, especially skincare, go ahead and check them out. They're really good. So just to tell you guys a little bit about this primer is formulated with shea butter. It has macadamia seed oil, and it is plant-derived silicone alternative to deeply hydrate, smooth, and nourish the skin. And as you guys know, I have acne-prone skin, so I tend to stay away from silicone-based products, especially the primers. I feel like over time, they kind of clog your pores unless you're doing like a very good cleaning every night, which I'm not really good at all the time. So I feel like I stay away from all of that. I'm going to take about this much on the back of my hand, and I'm going to kind of start applying this all over my face because it says it's a moisturizing primer. So I'm just going to kind of use it as a moisturizer as well. It actually feels pretty cooling on the skin. I want to see if it actually shrunk my pores or did anything to the pores. It actually did make my pores look very shrunk. I feel like the cooling part of this primer kind of did that for you, and I'm actually very excited to see how it will wear all throughout the day. And I want to apply my makeup. I want to see how it all goes because it can feel really nice, but if the makeup doesn't stay on top of it, kind of doesn't do the job. So let's go ahead and apply our foundation. And for the foundation today, I am going to take this NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation, and I'm using this in the shade Golden. I'm going to go ahead and apply this using this Morphe sponge. That's actually a really good match. I love when I go to a drugstore and I can find a foundation that actually matches me, because when I first started with makeup, everybody wants to try with the drugstore. So I did go to a drugstore. I did buy a lot of drugstore foundations. And that was one issue. I could never actually find my foundation. I could never find the exact match, and it would look cakey or it would look gray. And it just was never the right shade. So lately, I've been trying a lot of drugstore products, and honestly, I can see a really big difference. And I feel like it all just started with the Fenty Beauty foundation, and she kind of changed the whole thing as far as like how inclusive everybody is. And I think it's really nice that everybody can find their shade now, especially in the drugstore, because we all love drugstore. This foundation is actually really nice. I feel like it is oxidizing just a little bit, but I think it'll be okay because we are going to use concealer and everything else, so I think it'll balance out at the end. Now for concealing today, I'm going to take this concealer from CoverGirl, and I'm using this in the shade T100, and I'm just going to go ahead and highlight with this. Going to take this right under my eyes, a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. And then using the pointy side of that sponge, I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. To set under my eyes, I'm going to take this Bacon Set Brightening Pink Powder from Morphe. So I'm going to make sure there's no creases under my eyes. I'm going to take a little bit of it on my brush first, and I'm going to set under my eyes. And when I'm putting the powder on, I'm just kind of pressing it in. I'm not using sweeping motion because I feel like that kind of just takes the concealer away and it kind of disturbs it. So I feel like if you pat the product on, it is much better. I'm also going to pick up some more of that powder, and I'm just going to kind of place it right under my eye, and I'm going to let it bake for a few minutes. Actually, I'm going to pick up a little bit more, and I'm going to bake around my mouth as well. This is kind of where I get a lot of creasing, and that's the reason I do it. But if you don't get creasing there, you don't have to do this. Now while that's baking, I'm going to take this Maybelline bronzer, and this is in the shade 300, and I'm just going to drag this right around my nose, and I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyes, and for my eyes today, I'm going to use this 35G Bronze Golds palette from Morphe, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up this shade right here, and I'm going to pick this up on a Morphe 503, And I'm going to go ahead and start kind of pressing it right on the outer corner. And I'm going to deepen it up a little bit. So I'm going to keep on pressing it until I feel like I have a good amount of color there. Once I have my outer V set, I'm going to start moving to the inner corner of my eye, and I'm going to still press the color on. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Then I'm going to pick up this Morphe 433, and this is just a fluffy flat brush, and I'm going to start kind of buffing the edge out. I want to make sure that there's no harsh line on the edge. And I'm not picking up any product on it, so I'm just working whatever color's there, just diffusing it a little bit. Next, using that same brush, I'm going to go into this shade right here. And this is just a very deep brown. And same thing, I'm just going to press it on just in my crease, just to define it a little bit more. I'm going to take this shade right here, and I'm going to first place it in the center. I do really like this palette. I feel like this does provide a pretty good amount of neutrals for you, and you can really do a lot of looks with this. And I started in the middle, and I'm just pressing it all over my lid with this color. Then I'm going to take that same brush that we packed all the color with, and I'm just going to diffuse the edges, blend it out nicely. Then I'm going to take this big blending brush, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here, and I feel like this is just very close to my skin tone, and I'm really just going to clean it up. So very, very lightly going to buff everything out. Next, I'm going to go back into the first shade that we took over our crease, and I'm going to pick this up on this flat brush, and I'm going to just kind of press it on my lower lash line. Kind of do the same thing we did on the top. And then I'm going to pick up that dark shade and do the same thing, and I'm just pressing it very, very close to my lash. And you notice how I have my brush like this and not like this. It'll kind of just help get the product very close to your lash. Now I'm just going to go ahead and kick off that bake, and I'm using a very small brush. I'm also going to take a little bit of this Fairy Lights from Pixie, and this is in the shade Rose Gold. And I'm going to just place it in the center of the eyelid. So I've just placed it in the center of the eyelid, and I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to press on the edges just to soften up the edges and make sure it looks nice and blended. I'm going to pick this up on a Morphe 213, and I'm just picking it up on the very tip of it. And I'm going to take that and stamp that right in the center on my lower lash. And that is all where I'm taking this. Now if your brush or your product dries, it's probably going to be dry on the other eye. You just spray it with a little bit of Urban Decay and then do the same thing. And you just diffuse it so you can see it, but you can't really see it. So you see a little bit of sparkle, but you don't see a lot. Now to add a little bit of structure on my face, I'm going to take that Milani bronzer, and I'm picking it up on a very dense brush because I wanted to kind of give it shape first. And I'm going to start stamping it where I would normally contour. And it might look a little harsh at first, but don't worry, we're going to blend it out. I just want to make sure I have a shape before I blend it out. And once I have most of the product on, I'm going to take this Morphe 403 and I'm just very lightly going to start blending it. And I'm blending it upwards, not downwards. Now before I go in with my blush and my highlight and all of that, I'm going to take this hydrating mist from Pixie, and I'm going to go ahead and spray this all over my face. I'm going to take these Morphe drops in the shade Optic. So I'm going to take some actually on the back of my hand just to warm it up a little bit. And I'm going to work it into the sponge first. And then just take it on the highest points of my cheeks. Yep, that's perfect. Then I'm going to take a little bit of it on my forehead as well, and a little bit on the bridge of my nose. I'm going to take this on the inner corner of my eye. For my blush today, I'm going to go into this Milani's blush, and this is in the shade Tea Rose. And I'm very, very lightly going to go ahead and just press it kind of on the apples of my cheeks, but not all the way here, just like up to here. And then just drag it a little bit upwards. For my mascara today, I'm going to use this Unlimited mascara from L'Oreal, and I've been actually really liking this mascara. This really makes my eyelashes look so long. I really like this mascara. This is an amazing mascara. Look at the amount of volume and the length it gave my lashes. It is amazing. Can you guys see that? It's literally, these are my lashes. I don't have extensions on. It does start to get a little clumpy. This is like 3 coats of mascara, but it is really nice. For my lips today, I'm going to take this lip stain from L'Oreal, and this is in the shade 414. And I'm going to go ahead and apply this all over my lips. Next, I'm going to take this NYX brow pencil, and this is in the shade Espresso. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows. And that brings us to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell. I want to wish you all a very happy holiday, and I will see you next time. Ciao.